Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Lalita Vishakha, Jaya Radhesham, Lalita Vishakha, Jaya Radhesham. Jaya Goranitai, Jaya Goranitai, Goranitai, Jaya Goranitai. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. जय हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, श्रीमद् भागवतम की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। We are reading from Canto 10, Chapter 50. Krishna establishes Dwarka, text 46 to 53. So we will chant 46 together and the remaining verses I will read. Oh my God. Yavanoyam nirundhe smān adya tāvan mahā-balaḥ māgadho adya vasvo paraśvo vāgamiṣyati. Yes. Mataji's? Adya tāvan mahā-balaḥ māgadho adya paraśvo vāgamiṣyati yavano nirundhe smān adya tāvan mahā-balaḥ māgadho adya paraśvo vāgamiṣyati. Translation. This Yavana is besieging us already, and the mighty King of Magadha will soon arrive here. If not today, then tomorrow or the next day. Text 47. Āvayoḥ yudhyator asya yady āgantā jarā-sutaḥ bandhūn haniṣyaty atha nirundhe svapuram bali. Translation. If powerful Jarāsandha comes while we two are busy fighting Kalyavan, Jarāsandha may kill our relatives or else take them away to his capital. Text 48. Tasmāt adya vidhasyamo durgam dvipada durgamam tatra gnatin samadhyaya yavanam ghātayāmahe. Translation. Therefore, we will immediately construct a fortress that no human force can penetrate. Let us settle our family members there and then kill the barbarian king. Text 49. Iti samantraya bhagavan durgam dvadasha yojanam anta samudrare nagaram krishnadbhutam achikarat. After thus discussing the matter with Balaram, the Supreme Personality of Godhead had a fortress 12 yojanas in circumference built within the sea. Inside that fort, he had a city built containing all kind of wonderful things. text 52 to 53. Drishyate yatra hi tvastram vignanam shilpanaipunam rathya chatvara vitibhir yatha vastu vinirmitam sura druma latodhyana vichitro pavananvitam hema shringe divi sprigbhi spatikatala gopure rajatara kute koshter hema kumbher alankrite ratna kuter griher hemer mahā-markatastale vastospati nam cha griher valabhibhischa nirmitam chaturvarnya janakirnam yadudeva grihaloshata. Synonyms. Drishyate, was seen. Yatra, wherein. He, indeed. Tvastram, of Tvasta, Vishwakarma, the architect of the demigods. Vignanam, the scientific knowledge. Shilpa, in architecture. Naipunam, the expertise. Rathya, with main avenues. Chatvara, courtyards. Vitibhi, and commercial roads. Yatha vastu, on ample plots of land. Vinirmitam, constructed. Sura, of the demigods. Druma, having trees. Lata, and creepers. Udhyana, gardens. Vichitra, splendid. Upavan, and parks. Anvitam, containing. Hema, gold. Shringe, having peaks. Divi, the sky. Sprigbi, touching. Svaitika, of crystal cords. Atala, having upper levels. Gopure, with gateways. Rajata, of silver. Arakute, and brass. Koste, with treasury buildings, warehouses and stables. Hema, gold. Kumbhe, by pots. Alankrite, decorated. Ratna, jeweled. Kute, having peaks. Grihe, with houses. Heme, of gold. Mahā-marakata, with precious emeralds. Stale, having floors. Vasto, of the households. Patinam, belonging to the presiding deities. Cha, and. Grihe, with temples. Vallabhibhi, with watchtowers. Cha, and. Nirmitam, constructed. Chatuvarnya, of the four occupational orders. Jana, with people. Akirnam, filled. Yadudeva, of the Lord of the Yadus. Shri Krishna. Griha, by the residences. Ulasat, beautified. Translation and purport by followers of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In the construction of that city could be seen the full scientific knowledge and architectural skill of Vishwakarma. There were wide avenues, commercial roads and courtyards laid out on ample plots of land. There were splendid parks and also gardens stocked with trees and creepers from the heavenly planets. The gateway towers were topped with golden turrets touching the sky, and their upper levels were fashioned of crystal cords. The gold-covered houses were adorned in front with golden pots, and on top with jeweled roofs, and their floors were inlaid with precious emeralds. Beside the houses stood treasury buildings, warehouses, and stables for fine horses, all built of silver and brass. Each residence had a watchtower and also a temple for its household deity. Filled with citizens of all four social orders, the city was especially beautified by the palaces of Sri Krishna, the Lord of the Yadus. Purport. Srila Sridhar Swami explains that the state highways, Rathayaha, were in front and the secondary roads, Vityaha, behind, and between them were courtyards, Chatvarani. Within these courtyards were surrounding walls, and within the walls stood golden residences, atop which shone crystal watchtowers crowned with golden pots. Thus the buildings were multi-storied. The word Vastu indicates that the houses and buildings were constructed on ample plots of land with plenty of room for green areas. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So the chapter is titled Krishna Establishes Dwarka. So Krishna is showing his love and care for his devotees. And that's the only reason to create Dwarka. There is no other reason. Because he is discussing already with Balaram that for their protection, for their care, before Jarāsandha and they all Kalevan tried to disturb his devotees, he should create some facility for them. And interesting thing is how beautiful it was. The way Krishna plans, we cannot even think of. So beautifully planned place for the devotees. So it is having all kind of wonderful things. It is scientific, architectural, vastu, gardens, parks, trees, whatever we can think of when we go for a vacation. We like to go to such places. But Krishna is giving residence like that. So you don't need a vacation. You always stay with Krishna. You have your deities, you keep worshipping them and you are happy there. So Dwarka is further described in one more purport in the first canto by Srila Prabhupada. This is first canto, chapter 11, text number 12. This chapter is entitled Lord Krishna Entrance into Dwarka. So after the battle of Kurukshetra, Krishna was going back from Hastinapur to Dwarka, and here Prabhupada describes the Dwarkapuri. So we'll read that. The city of Dwarkapuri was filled with opulences of all seasons. There were hermitages, orchards, flower gardens, parks, and reservoirs of water breeding lotus flowers all over. So, in the purport, Prabhupada is describing, actually Dwarka and Mathura were cities. Right? Dwarka and Mathura were called cities. And now what we call city is something else. So, in this purport, Prabhupada is describing everything. So, we will read purport. This is a very beautiful purport, small and very nice. So, Prabhupada starts the purport that Perfection of human civilization is made possible by utilizing gifts of nature in their own way. So, that is the perfection of civilization, that we are living our life on nature's gift, not on artificial products. So, Krishna didn't arrange any factory. Somehow he forgot, I think. Or maybe he didn't wanted it. So, Prabhupada will comment more. As we find herewith, in the description of its opulence, Dwarka was surrounded by flower gardens and fruit orchards, along with reservoirs of water and growing lotuses. There is no mention of mills and factories supported by slaughterhouses, which are the necessary paraphernalia of the modern metropolis. So we call them modern metropolis or modern cities, but Srila Prabhupada writes in one of the purport, this is just advancement of foolishness. We get nothing from it. We say advancement, but Prabhupada writes advancement of foolishness. So, the propensity to utilize nature's own gift is still there, even the heart of modern civilized man. So this we all can testify, that we all like to be in the nature. And I see whenever anybody is planning any materialistic person plans a vacation, or even many times as devotees, we like to go to Himalayas or some place where there is more natural scenery, or Rishikesh near the Ganga belt where there are a lot of nice rivers flowing, natural trees are there. Nobody plans a vacation otherwise, because we all live in a city. What we call is like a useless creation of humans, which is giving nothing actually, but then only anxieties. And then Prabhupada writes, the leaders of the modern civilization select their own residential quarters in a place where there are such naturally beautiful gardens and reservoirs of water. But they leave the common man to reside in congested areas without parks and gardens. So if you go to Delhi, which was the then Hastinapur, all the leaders live in a place where, I mean the political leaders. If you go and see, they have huge gardens, parks, no high building there. You cannot find anything there. Very nice palatial buildings, so many trees there. It's wonderful. So Prabhupada is just mentioning that so the leaders know this, that this is what is required to live a good life, but somehow they keep the normal citizen in a congested area. Herein, of course, we find a different description of the city of Dwarka. So the description of Dwarka city is not like what we see today. So, since the time we got our birth, we call some place a city, right? But the Shastra is describing city as something else. So, what we see today city is, Prabhupada is writing in the next sentence what it is. He is writing, it is understood that we find a different description of the city of Dwarka. It is understood that the whole dham or residential quarter was surrounded by such gardens and parks with reservoirs of water where lotuses grew. It is understood that all the people depended on nature's gifts of fruits and flowers without industrial enterprises, promoting filthy huts and slums. So this is what the current city is defined here. Filthy huts and slum. So what we call today city cannot be qualified as city as per the scriptures. It is a slum actually. There is no clean air, there is no clean water, there is no clean food, there is no, stinking drainage. What do we have in the cities to be, if we analyze it, comparing to what the Shastra is describing Dwarka as a city. Mathura is a city. And they were all having nice parks, wonderful trees, and the people were depending on nature gifts, which is fruits and flowers for their survival. So, when Krishna created Dwarka, the entire Gujarat, rather from Mathura to Gujarat, if I don't know geography, if somebody knows in India, between the whole land was forest. And they were all growing for Dwarkavasi and Mathuravasi. Everything was used to grow for Dwarkavasis and Mathuravasis. Nothing else was there. There were no mills or slaughterhouses or factories. So, but in our education system, we got convinced that what we see today is advancement. What education we get is the real education. So we started going to schools, colleges. But our founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada, was very mercifully bringing the attention back that no, this education system is a slaughterhouse. This is slaughtering our consciousness. In this arrangement, what we call city, which is described here as a slum, nothing reminds us of God. Not even one thing reminds us of Krishna. Everything is just artificial. And we are living with dead things actually. Everything is dead. But in this system, what we read here, Dwarka, everything was life. Trees is life, fruits is life, fields is life. Everything we are connected to living things. So when we stay connected to the living thing, we also get a lot of energy and life to depend on the nature. But when we stay connected to dead things, then our vital energy, which is for engaging in serving Krishna, is getting drained. We all can experience it. It is not, we don't need any scientific proof for this. The moment you live in the nature, you feel more happy. It's very natural. You just by seeing trees around you feel happy. You don't need a proof for that. So Krishna created such a city for his devotees. And then, as the time has passed by now, the intelligent, so-called intelligent society has created cities which is like slum. So we don't get any arrangement where we can be happy. There is no arrangement. We just have to struggle for our existence. And this struggle for existence is because we don't accept that we have to surrender to Krishna's system. Krishna has given a wonderful system. Like right now we shifted 140 bulls from our Bhaktivedanta Swami Goshala to our Ajay Eco Farm like 2 months back. And there is a lot of concern in general, and it's a valid concern that it's too cold for the bulls to be living there. But if we analyze Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna was living in 12 forests of Braj, right? It was all forest. And all the animals, all the human beings, they were living peacefully in this forest. And it was also nature's gift. Everything was depending on nature. Fruits, vegetables, grains, everything was coming from the land. Milk was coming from the cows. But the point I am trying to make is, it was a natural arrangement. There were no city establishment as we see today. So, the most important point to understand from today's purport is that we have to change our conception about the city. We cannot surrender to the materialistic idea of city. If we will surrender to the materialistic idea of city, then what is the point of studying Bhagavatam? So Prabhupada wants his followers to study the Shastra and then live accordingly. We are not just like a parrot who just keep reading and not changing. What is expected from us is a desire to change. Desire to change our lifestyle like we have done. Now we are chanting 2 hours minimum every day. We eat only what is offered to Krishna. So many things we have changed in our life. But the real change is in the lifestyle also. So, His Holiness Chandramauli Swami Maharaj has written a book, Krishna's Way, the Natural Living, something, I don't remember, but something it is like that. Or the Krishna's Living, the Natural Way of Life. So, we are follower of Sri Krishna, so our lifestyle should be also like him. Not that we have 16,000 wives, but not that we enjoy Ras Leela with millions of gopis, but the way he was living. The way to live, livelihood, was Krishi Goraksha. Krishna was like a Vaishya. He was living like a Vaishya. They were engaged in Krishi and Goraksha for survival. And this was the occupation of the entire planet. There was no other occupation then. Everybody was just doing this. Krishi and Goraksha. Because without this, what can we do? If there is no Krishi and Goraksha, practically nothing can move in this world. If there is nothing to eat, what will we do? All the raw material comes from the land. So Prabhupada says that we are not manufacturing anything, we are just transforming Krishna's resources. So all the thing we see, okay, this book, paper, it is transformed from tree. It's a natural resource. So anything we see, cloth, coming from the land, cotton, from the cotton we make cloth. So all that is, we are using is everything, any kind of metal come from the land. So this is from the land. Where gold comes from everything comes from the land. So it is very important that we depend on the nature's gift for our survival. Advancement of civilization is estimated not on the growth of mills and factories to deteriorate the finer instinct of human being. This is a very important point. We are all worried about or concerned about developing the finer tissues of the brain, right? So that we can focus on Krishna consciousness, we can be developing all the godly qualities. This is so important. So Prabhupada is describing how to do that. So advancement of finer instincts of the human being, but on developing the potent spiritual instincts of human beings and giving them a chance to go back to Godhead. So development of factories and mills is called ugra karma or pungent activities. And such activities deteriorates the finer sentiments of human being and thus turn society into dungeon of demons. So now if we are connected to ugra karma activities, either by directly going and working there or by utilizing their products, there is no difference. Like somebody is slaughtering an animal and somebody is eating an animal. The karma is same. So if we are engaged into manufacturing something in an ugra karma arrangement of industries or somebody is using that, what is the difference? There is no difference from that principle. So we should try to avoid that because this will deteriorate the finer sentiments. This is deteriorating. We don't realize this. But actually the more we are depending on these artificial products, our consciousness is becoming more and more deteriorated. It is a function. It is a function of this artificial civilization to create godlessness. And it is function of nature's life to create awareness about God. So they say, I forgot it. Maybe Krishna will remember us after a while. We find herein the mention of pious trees which produce seasonal flowers and fruits. So again the word used is seasonal flowers and fruits. So the nature's gift means we should depend on the seasonal things. But somehow in this artificial arrangement, we want to enjoy things of different season even now. So if we analyze around us, every season Krishna is arranging different fruits, flowers, vegetables, and that is for our good health. Even the grains are different, but now we are innovating multi-grain. We see packets with multi-grain atha. So that means Krishna don't know what to grow on the land because multi-grain atha doesn't grow on the land. It is a factory product. It comes from an ugra karma arrangement. But we think that by that we will become healthy. So anything which is against Krishna's arrangement is artificial and will only deteriorate our health. We have to accept that. So if in this season bajra is coming, we should eat bajra. If jowar is coming, we should eat jowar. If wheat is coming, we should eat wheat. If rice is coming, we should eat rice. Why Krishna has different grains growing in different... There is a reason behind. The Creator knows why He did it. We don't know it. Why different vegetables comes in different season. He knows it. But we are attached to certain things and we want to eat that 24 hours, 365 days. And so we are suffering. Otherwise we should have that question. That I am eating everything good. Who likes to eat junk food? Everybody wants to eat healthy thing to make his health. Prabhupada writes in Bhagavad Gita, the function of food is health and long life. In 17.10, I think, Bhagavad Gita 17.10, Prabhupada writes, the function of food is good health and long life. So if by eating food, we are eating food, right, every day, nice prasad, and then why we are getting diseases? Krishna has not created a system to give us disease. So somewhere we are not following Krishna's system. If you can follow Krishna's system, there are villages in the world where people are living minimum 100 years. The average age of a village in Japan is 100 years. So, they are just following simple Krishi Goraksha. That's the only occupation in that village. Nothing else they do. Even a 100-year person climb uphill and is bringing water or his fruits, grains, whatever he has to collect. He is collecting on his own. So the so-called comfortable life has created real discomfort in our lives. So it is very important to come out of the comfort zone. In one of the conversations, Prabhupada says with Tamal Krishna Maharaj, Prabhupada is emphasizing on starting the farm projects, land and cows, go back to Krishna's system. And so he was starting so many projects in America, Prabhupada then in 60s, 70s. Tamal Krishna Maharaj said, but we don't have many men to work. And then Prabhupada says, then we should engage people paying 200 rupees, something like that he says. Maybe it was in India, this conversation. So he said, okay, we can engage people, and then what will happen? And Prabhupada says, they will take money and nothing will grow. This is what Prabhupada is telling. They will take money and nothing will grow. So in a way, Prabhupada was rejecting it. He said that our devotees should get engaged in these services. This idea of engaging paid people will not bring any benefit to our society, will not give any benefit to our movement. We want devotees to be doing this work for Krishna. We cannot hire people for growing food for the deities, growing vegetables for the deities. We should be doing it because it's a lifestyle. This is a lifestyle. Farming or living on the land is a lifestyle. It is not that somebody will do for us and we will eat. Then we will get what we are getting now, disease. But when you work on your own, then you don't have to go to gym, like Prabhupada also says in one of the letters we have read once in the morning here, Prabhupada meditation, that the women were grinding grains on this atha chakki and they were looking more beautiful and healthy. But now because they don't have that facility, now the atha is grinded in some machine. So everything has become machine oriented in our life. So it is an alarming instruction that we have to awake and get away from this ugra karma lifestyle. And it is very simple, it is given. It's just a decision we decided to stop going to cinemas, stop going to restaurants. We decided that already and we have moved to a level. Now we have to decide again, okay, now I want to move forward. If we get satiated with what we are doing now, that means we are not progressing in Krishna consciousness. So if Krishna is suggesting something, we have to follow it. We cannot tell that, oh, no devotee is doing in the community, so how will I do? It's not about that. There are serious devotees who are doing Nirjala Ekadashi, who are chanting 64 rounds. So it depends on the practitioner, how much he wants to surrender to Krishna's instruction. So this description of Dwarka is just awakening that what we should be doing in our life. So we find that pious trees which produce seasonal flowers and fruits. So we have to depend on the seasonal things. We cannot crave for things which is out of season. In that way we end up spending more money, but the cause is just satisfying our senses. Somebody might say that no, Krishna wants to eat apple 365 days. No, Krishna doesn't want, then he would have grown apple 365 days here. He knows what he wants to eat. But because we don't understand Krishna's system, we put it on Krishna that Krishna wants to eat, and so I am offering it to Krishna. But Krishna wants everything to be seasonal. He doesn't want any, he is not getting bored if you offer him the same seasonal fruit every day. But we cannot take the same fruits every day. That is why we want to offer different things to Krishna every day. That is our weakness of senses. So in the name of Krishna, we cannot satisfy our senses. That will lead us nowhere. So Krishna should be in the center. Like generally when we plan cooking, we should think that what I am cooking for Krishna, not that what I want to eat and cook for Krishna then. In that situation, Krishna is on the side. So entire nature keeps Krishna in the center. Nobody goes against the nature system. If you see, no species go against the nature system. They are just following the nature. And so they don't need hospital, they don't need anything. They don't need some sheds to survive. Like this monkey, this bird, they know where to live in this winter. They don't have jackets and coats and caps. Because they are eating natural things whole their life, they can survive this weather. So Krishna's system is so perfect. Now we have a calf which is 7 months old now, Subhadra, on our farm. And her mother died few months back. But she can live this winter, no problem. She is happy. But there is a sentimental attachment that we have that they cannot survive in the cold winter. But there is no problem, absolutely no problem. None of the doctor is visiting these bulls on the land. They are peacefully living there, super healthy. Apart from that, we saw more healthy bulls which is out on the forest. Adjacent to our land on Ajay, there is a forest. There is no shed for them. Nobody feed grass to them. There is nobody making arrangement to give them water. But they are more healthy. They are more healthy. But in our so-called care, where we create an artificial Ugra Karma arrangement, we need a veterinarian visiting our places every single day. Still we are not convinced that we are doing something wrong. That is our ignorance. So we have to convince ourselves that till the time we follow Krishna's system, we cannot be living a healthy Krishna conscious life. The impious trees are useless jungles only, and they can only be used to supply fuels. In the modern civilization, such pious trees are planted on the sides of the roads. Human energy should be properly utilized in developing the finer tissues for spiritual understanding. So the development of finer tissues is required so that we can have more spiritual understanding. There is no other purpose. We don't want to live 100 years. Whatever we live, we want to be Krishna conscious. Always meditating on Krishna, always our desire is to please Krishna, and our motivation is to become servant of the Lord. No other motivation we have. Prabhupada further writes, in which lies the solution of life. So to develop the finer senses for spiritual understanding, in which lies the solution of life. Fruits, flowers, beautiful gardens, parks, reservoirs of water with ducks and swans playing in the midst of lotus flower, and cows giving sufficient milk and butter are essential for developing the finer tissues of the human body. So Prabhupada described 8-10 items required for developing the finer tissues. Number 1 is fruits, flowers, gardens, parks, reservoirs of water, ducks and swans playing in the midst of lotus flowers, and cows giving sufficient milk and butter are essential for developing the finer tissues of. This is not or, this or, this or, this or, this. It is not like that. It is and. So this is a lifestyle Prabhupada is talking about. That we have to live in such a city which provides us all these things. We cannot live in a city where you can't get any of this. Nothing of this is available in the city we live in today. Everything is exported from somewhere. That is not a lifestyle spoken here in this city of Dwarka. As against this, the dungeons of mines, factories and workshops develop demoniac propensity in the working class. So what is happening? There is demonic propensity despite of all arrangement by the government, institutions, religious organization. Still the abuse of women is continuing. Still the abuse of children is going on. Abuse of old people is going on. Abuse of cows is going on. Still going on. Why? Nobody wants this. Because we are not following a lifestyle which keeps us in a mode of goodness. We are in a lifestyle which keeps us in a mode of ignorance, passion. So what we will do is abusing and exploiting, nothing else. So these 5 important species has to be protected. Cows, brahmanas, women, children and old people. 5. It's given in the Bhagavatam 3rd canto. If we cannot do this, such society will be consumed by vultures. I don't remember the verse, but something like this is mentioned. It's a translation of a verse. So it is very, very important to take forward this Krishna consciousness movement, that we all have to work together to establish a lifestyle which is centered around Krishna. We cannot have a lifestyle centered around demonic civilization. We have to create a lifestyle. We are in Vrindavan, and Krishna was here. Gopis were doing that. Gopas were doing that. Everything was centered around land and cows. Such a city has to be created. The vested interests flourish at the cost of the working class, and consequently there are severe clashes between them in so many ways. So we see that every day there is some new war starting in the world, there is some scarcity of some kind, some epidemic coming up. I mean, what good news is there in this world now? What we are trying to create? Nothing is possible, because everything is just inviting troubles. And then we are trying to be happy. This is like the mirage, running in the desert looking for a water. Not possible. These are all examples for us to understand as devotees that there is a desperate need to change the lifestyle. So, Srila Prabhupada was mercifully bringing people from the slum-like cities to the real city, which is Vrindavan, Mathura, Dwarka. He didn't want it otherwise. So he was creating Vaikuntha everywhere. And he said every Vaikuntha should have a farm. So all these temples he was instructing to have a farm project, which is like this, with beautiful flowers, fruits, vegetables, devotees living peacefully, serving cows and land. Not that we are working in some Ugra Karma factories. Okay, somebody is working there, our sannyasis, brahmacharis, they can go out, bring them back to Krishna's way of lifestyle. But not that we encourage that lifestyle. That is not our system, that is not our program. So nothing wrong in preaching to engineers and doctors. But yes, we don't need to make our kids engineers and doctors. We should make them devotees. That is what is required. We should make them farmers to grow fruits and vegetables for the Lord. Why we want to send them to schools, which is slaughtering the consciousness and taking them away from Krishna? There is no point in doing that. So somehow we have kind of misunderstood the direction of Srila Prabhupada, and we still attach our existence to the mundane lifestyle. So it is very, very important that we bring our focus back, because we praise the gopis here, right? They are the best, but then what were they doing? That nobody wants to do. Nobody wants to take care of cows. Nobody wants to take care of the calves. Then in what way will we attract the attention of the gopis and Krishna? Krishna was going whole day for grazing cows. Who is doing that? Nobody wants to do that. Whom are we following then? We are followers of Krishna. And okay, now we are followers of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Kali Yuga. We can put it like that. But they both were doing something and we are not doing either of that. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Sankirtan movement. Who is going for Sankirtan then? So, it's a very nice verse to understand that what we should give to the coming generation. We are entrusted with a huge responsibility, because by Prabhupada's mercy we got connected to his wonderful society ISKCON, and we are getting educated through his books about what we should be doing. And if we transfer this legacy in a right perspective to the next generation, then it will go on. Otherwise, they will also get engaged into some mundane lifestyle. And we are seeing that. We already lost our one generation. They are all doing mundane activities. Nobody appreciated our society. They are all living. We are hearing from our senior members. They don't want, because they were not given a correct lifestyle. And there are many societies in the world which are preaching this farm. They have 10,000 farms. There are societies in the world running 10,000 farms, single organizations like that. So it is not a rocket science. Just by following Prabhupada's instruction, we can manifest this. It's just a question of desire, whether we want to surrender to this lifestyle or not. Whether we want to follow Krishna's lifestyle or we want to follow the lifestyle given by Maya. It's a decision we have to make now. So, this is beautiful description about Dwarka, and this were worth points to discuss, so I thought we will discuss this. This looks like something big, but actually it is very easy. We have to struggle hard to go to hell, but to live this lifestyle is practically no struggle. Even today, 70% of Indian population resides on the land. So they know how to live. We just have to go with them and learn. We learn from the city people. I mean, as per this word, the slum people, how to live in the slum. So now let's learn how to live in the city, the real city which is described here, and create a city like that for Krishna. And we have many successful programs like this also in Hungary. What is that project called? New Braj Dham. New Braj Dham. Then we have New Vrindavan in America. Then we have in Gita Nagar in Pennsylvania. And more. Sharanagati farm in Canada, which is like 2,000 acre land. Forests, rivers, beautiful place. In India also many projects are coming up. So in Vrindavan, we are praying to have 2,000 acre land for our cows, Krishna Balaram cows, and where many devotees can live with their families and serve motherland and cows and serve in the nearby villages. We can plan one project in each of the 12 forests. We have many wonderful sannyasis and leaders who knows how to get good land, attract the attention of the donors, and bring land for Krishna. See, this way we can give 50% to Krishna. For example, you have 2 acres of land, and what you can grow on that, you cannot eat it. So you have to give 50% to Krishna. But when it comes to giving 50% of your hard-earned money, it's getting little difficult. But when you live on the land, you become more magnanimous in giving. It's very easy to give, because land gives so much abundance. Everything is abundance on the land. You cannot consume it. So this lifestyle, if every devotee just have small 2 acre land means was 25-30 lakh rupees in Braj. That's it. But to buy an apartment is 2 crore. Not possible. But land, yes, 25-30 lakhs, we can easily buy 2 acre land here in Braj. So if we acquire such big lands and we all start working together as a community under the direction given in the books of Srila Prabhupada, we can certainly create a wonderful manifestation for Krishna Balaram and serve his cows here, get sufficient quantity of milk for the deities, flowers. Now what we get is good, but we have to expand from here. So right now we have 40 acre land, which is not even enough to feed our cows. What to talk about feeding the community members? So, because we don't understand the equation is to feed one person, we need quarter of acre land. What we eat in the whole year, one single person, morning, evening, couple meals at least a day, and maybe 3 sometimes. It requires 3/4 acre land just to survive one human. And just imagine, if we have 40 acre land, what are we talking about now? So we need huge land. So it's a serious program we have to get into and increase our focus and prayers in this direction. And all those who are interested are welcome. They can contact Dharmatma Prabhu. And we have on our website also this project given, Simple Living, High Thinking. And all interested devotees should get connected to it and try to serve Krishna Balaram like this. Thank you very much. Grantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any comments? Yes.
Very nice class. Whatever you said is very good, but we are habitual to the things, and to change the things, it's very difficult sometimes.
Yeah. But we have to change. So the steps, if we take of changing, that will be much easier for everyone.
Yes.
But because the habit, we cannot drop our habit. That's why we cannot follow the instructions. So to follow the instruction, we need a proper guidance. If the proper guidance is there, then we can move on together.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Puji. Yes. Thank you for the wonderful class. This all seems very exciting, and to certain degree, I have some exposure of, let's say, being in village or that thing. At the same time, as you said, there is Krishna and there is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu focus on Sankirtan movement. So, is it an absolute necessity for us to go for this lifestyle? Obviously, it is conducive to mode of goodness and bhakti. But is it an absolute necessity for us to go to this lifestyle for us to go back to Godhead? Because we see that, for Sankirtan or, in any temple in the city, we see the products we are using, like, electricity and all. These are like not so natural. And for preaching, we are using even YouTube and everything, right? So, like, I was just inquisitive, is it an absolute necessity? Or it's like, it makes it more easy, of course. So, is it an absolute necessity or not?
So I understand that whatever makes us more Krishna conscious is a good decision for us. Like somebody becomes Krishna conscious if he can meditate about Krishna and chant Krishna's name 24 hours by serving the deities, fair and good. So it's an individual decision to make what makes us Krishna conscious. But as Krishna describes here, there was also the mention of the word social orders. So there are 4 social orders. So we have to decide in which we are falling in, and we have to follow the prescribed injunctions of that social order. Right now we are not even on that. So the bare minimum necessity is to follow the prescribed duties, but if you are not even following the prescribed duties, then it will be a real challenge. And I would say we are in an illusion to think that we are progressing ahead. Because if chanting 2 hours we cannot focus on the holy name, we are feeling sleepy, then we know that where we are now. We don't have to take proof from somebody else. So these are good questions to bring up, that is it absolute necessity or not, but we know that whether it is necessary or not. We are feeling it already. We are experiencing a lot of diseases, we are experiencing a lot of anxiety in our life. We cannot concentrate on chanting, we cannot concentrate on reading, we cannot give time to our family. So how much are we doing? I mean, when we joined Krishna consciousness, maybe we were giving 2-3 hours reading, hearing, chanting, and even if now we are doing after 15-20 years the same, that means we are not interested in it. This is what the message is actually. So if you are a grahastha, okay, engage in ugra karma, then give 50% to Krishna. That's the instruction in the Shastra. But somehow we are diluting all the instructions and living the life the way we want to live, and then this mind poses us this question, is it necessary? Yes, it is necessary. Whatever is given in the scriptures is necessary. Follow one aspect of it. If you are a brahmachari, then it describes how a brahmachari should live. Just live like that, no problem. If you are a sannyasi, it is given. Live like a sannyasi. Sannyasi should have no possession, no bank balance, everything should be given to Krishna. It depends for everything on Krishna. So the more we follow it, the more we will benefit. Now it's on us how much we want to follow. That nobody can impose on us. Krishna, through his scriptures, through his devotees, is giving us all these instructions. But if we don't follow it, whom to blame? We have to blame ourselves. So whatever way of life we are choosing for ourselves, our goal is to become Krishna conscious, our goal is to please Krishna and satisfy Krishna and to become a servant of Krishna. That is our goal. So if you can achieve that by doing whatever you are doing, it's fair and good, no problem. But as we understand, whatever we do should be as per Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. We cannot be whimsical in thinking that, okay, I am doing this, but I am Krishna conscious. Okay, your mind can convince you, but your mind cannot convince Yamaraj for that. So it's a very clear instructions what is a lifestyle. So if we cannot follow that lifestyle, certainly we have to pay a price. Certainly we have to pay a price. And why Prabhupada was preaching this to American devotees, he was living on the farms without electricity. Prabhupada himself was doing it. And he was happy doing it. And I remember there was a Bhagavad Dharma discourse on New Vrindavan farm where all the devotees of America were gathering. So Prabhupada was not worried about that the temples will close, because he knew that the most important point is reading and hearing. And once they understand the philosophy, they will expand the movement more better. But we are not here to become big managers. We are here to become devotees of the Lord. So our focus should be always on that am I becoming a servant of Krishna or I am trying to become a master of my services. So many times it happens that our mind bewilders us that we are doing service, but actually we become master of our service. In any place, if you are as a grahastha you are doing, as a brahmachari you are doing, as a sannyasi you are doing, this law or principle applies to all of us. So the test is how much you are focusing on Krishna with whatever you are doing every single moment. So this lifestyle is natural to that. This lifestyle, it will naturally make, like yesterday I was on the farm, we have one devotee in Govindasham living there, and we were discussing from 3rd chapter, we were reading Bhagavad Gita, and the point came that whatever we are doing, it should make us happy. And he said that just to see these bulls running on the land makes me so much happy. But we don't see anything here like that in the cities, what we are living now. It is all giving us anxiety. So that lifestyle is so wonderful that because we have not experienced that, we are debating that, oh, other things will be also good and fair. But no, Krishna has not created that lifestyle. It is created by this demoniac world. It is against Krishna's system. So we have to do a lot of struggle. And then we are not able to chant even more than 16 rounds. We are not able to read more than 1 hour a day. So in what sense we are progressing? This is the basic when we start. So if you are giving more time to Krishna, that means you are on the right track. But if you cannot give more, then at least give the result of what you are making. So if you are making salary, okay, you are making 1 lakh, give 50,000 to Krishna every month. That will make you more Krishna conscious. But even if you don't follow that, then we are in a struggling zone. Then we are not following Guru Sadhu Shastra. Then whom are we following? That is the question to be asked. This is how I understand. Anybody wants to add, can add to this?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So, a very nice answer. And like, how to understand, like, I don't think it's easier to understand what is your nature, like as in like what is varnashrama categorization you fall in. It's difficult how you decide, or do you know how to easily decide that?
For that you need to be serving under the expert direction of a devotee who can help you with that. Right now we are under the expert direction of our mind. So it looks difficult, but once we are under the direction of some devotee as an authority, he will guide you. You just have to find out. That is that duty is entrusted to us. If you will have sincere desire, Krishna will arrange that devotee for you. But first you have to have that desire, that I want to live the way Shastra wants me to live. First develop that desire. That is itself a good beginning. That itself is a very good beginning. And Krishna will arrange. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam sasev bhajami. Whatever you desire, Krishna have to arrange. He has no choice. He is telling it. But just have that desire. But if you have a desire to have a car, a bungalow, a bank balance, okay, Krishna is giving that, take that, no problem. So we just have to work on our desire. That itself will change the entire life for us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Mataji. Last question. Can take one, right?
Hare Krishna, thank you for your class. And my education is to be gardener and to make splendid park and garden, but I found difficult to find our place for the skills I learn at school in this society, Ugra Karma. In ISKCON I don't know, because when I speak to gardener, they do like they know everything. But I would like to know if it's possible to find a good partner, associate for think at splendid garden, and really splendid with a lot of diversity and fruits and flowers for all the animals. Because often we do gardens only for human and simple maintenance, but we can also develop some gardens for all the spaces of life, like a holistic garden, like to be my dream is to find partner for be in harmony with Krishna plane, and to be a arm of Krishna, to be a head of Krishna, because he have all the seeds in the air. When you do Sankirtan Yagya, we call the rain are coming, and the seeds come in the floor. And he give always the good seeds around the house, around the places and parks, for that everybody have good health. Healthy life is available for those who have faith in Krishna. For example, in other countries where we believe in God, around all church, all temples, all houses, you have all the medicines. All the plants grow naturally. So after people who are not interested, ignorant and tamasic, they destroy. But us, I say, me and my teacher, we like to have some good association for speak. Sometimes, and for practice, splendid garden and parks.
Thank you. Nice comment. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, शील प्रभुपाद की जय.